We're going to make this 3D logo in Fusion, so let's get to it. Hello everyone, welcome back. I had one of my followers ask me how to do two different coins on a 3D logo on one of my older tutorials that I've done using the duplicate node and a resolve logo, which was the same on both sides. I had since then showed how to do a 3D logo with text on it and flip the backside so it was readable. But this guy was asking how to do, he wanted to put a Bitcoin on one side and another coin on the other. So we're going to do that today using the new S polygon node and the extrude node. So you have to have two different pictures, a picture of each one of your coins. These are the two coins he wanted to use. And you want them transparent, and a good size is 600 by 600. Both these are the same size. You want to get that prepared first. Then we're going to start out with a fusion composition. You can find that in the effects right here. We're going to change the length of this to 10 seconds. Put your playhead over it, and let's go down to Fusion. By the way, for those of you that don't know me, I have to use this on-screen keyboard due to health reasons. Go ahead and move the media out of the way. We won't need it for a while. Click away right about here. Make sure nothing's selected. Shift spacebar and type in S polygon. And then shift spacebar again. And now we want the extrude. Now we're going to go up to our media and bring one of the coins down. Doesn't matter which one, they're both the same size. And put that in the viewer 1. And you can see up here in the top right, 600 by 600. Now with the S polygon node selected, we're going to mask this out. I will be fast forwarding through some of this. I'm sure everybody knows how to mask. I want to make sure you close this. And if you hit the control button, hold that down, you can manage these handles much easier. Only one side will move at a time, not both. You can lock it with the fifth icon from the left to the right. That looks pretty good. If you need to move any of these points, just highlight it. You have to unlock it first. Go to the Modify Only tool. Highlight it. And you can use these little arrows on the keyboard to move it up, down, left, or right. Okay, I'm happy with that. We don't need that in viewer 1 anymore for now. Select the extrude node, emerge, camera, render. Let's get the render settings out of the way right away. For now, let's just select lighting and go up here to render type. Select hardware renderer. That will let it render out a lot faster. It will automatically decide between your CPU and your GPU. It'll balance it out for the best performance. Let's go back to the merge node. Hit shift spacebar. And type in directional light. And we're going to want 2 of them. And we're going to also want an ambient light. But we'll get to that in a minute so you can see the difference. Take the merge node in the viewer 1. And select the camera. In the inspector under transform, select use target. Then go up to translation, Z value. We'll move that to the right, and you'll see in viewer 1, the camera will move away from the object, and we'll start to see it in viewer 2. That's if we put the render in viewer 2. And you can pick whatever size you want. Just move your camera farther if you want it smaller, or closer if you want it larger. I'm going to set mine at 3.25. We can always change it if we need to. Okay, select the first directional light, one on top. In the inspector, under transform. Again, select use target. And up here under translation, Z value again, and we'll move the camera back. You can also move it using these little handles, in case you don't know. I find them very intuitive and much easier to move it, whatever we're going to move, whether the camera or light, by these handles versus those dials. And the use target means it'll, no matter where you move the camera or light, it will automatically or always point at the subject. Okay, while we're in here, we're going to change the intensity down to about 7. 0.7, that is. Again, we can always come back to that. Now we're going to select the other directional light. Let's go ahead and set the intensity to 0.7. Okay. We want to make this other light go out the back side. We want them back here right straight across from each other. Because we're going to animate the camera around the coin. Kind of the opposite way than what we're used to doing. But this is how this works the best. I found if I try to rotate the extrude, which is what you're looking at in the white, whatever you're putting on it tends to want to be black on the back side. Sometimes it'll work, sometimes it don't. So I found this way to be the best way. I don't have a middle mouse wheel on my controller. It's all handicap controller. So for me to move around the 3D world, it's a little different than you guys. In case you're wondering why I'm using that drop-down menu and a shift and dragging what I'm doing here. Okay, let's go back to this second directional light. In the inspector, under transform, select use target. Under translation, Z value again. Now we want to move this one to the left. And go out the back side. To somewhere around minus 3.1 or 3.0, somewhere in there for now. We can always come back and readjust these if need be. But right there's what we're looking for, something like that. Okay, to make this easier for us to rotate this and see it in the right viewer, go ahead and select your camera node. We're going to do this anyways, come up in a little bit. So select that and hit Shift Spacebar. And we want Transform 3D. Okay, with that node selected, if you go in the inspector under rotation, Y-axis, the camera now moves around our object. But I wanted to do that right now so we can move it easier, at least for me. And you can see in viewer 2, we don't have any excursion at all. It's flat. So go to the extrude node, and you'll see you have all the settings you do with normal 3D text. So we're going to set the excursion to 0.1, which is half of the settings here. Max is 2. You can set yours to whatever you like, but this seems to be a good thickness. Now let's set the bevel depth and bevel width to 0.02. As you'll see, we have a beveled edge, but it has kind of a flat surface between the two, the side and the end, the edge. So make sure your extrude node is selected. Go up here in the inspector and select custom. Just highlight it. Move that one straight up. One is the front, this side here, and one is the back. If you look at our edge here, it's getting a little bit more rounded, but we're not done yet. So select both the top ones. Hit F as in Frank on the keyboard. Now if you look at the edge, it's much more rounded. Well, we can make it look a little bit better. We'll grab these little handles. And move them all the way out. Now we have a nice rounded edge. Go to the transform. We can rotate it around and see if we like it. I like mine. While we're here, let's go ahead and animate this. Start at frame 0. Set a keyframe on the rotation y-axis. Take the playhead all the way to the end. We're going to rotate this counterclockwise to 1080. This seems like a pretty good setting for how fast you want it to rotate. You can make yours whatever you like. This is not in real time at the moment. Like I said, if you want to make it go slower, just lower that value down and it'll slow down. Okay, now we can move it around with the playhead instead of having to go to the transform every time. Let's go back to dual viewers. Okay, select your media in 1 and image plane on the toolbar. And merge it into the extrude like I just did. Now we can rotate it just by moving the playhead back and forth. And you can see we have the first coin on. It's backward, but we'll get to that in a moment. Click away right here. Actually, let's bring our other coin down. With that selected, in the toolbar, another image plane. And merge that right there. Now select the image plane node. Go to the inspector under transform, translation, z-axis. As you can see, we're moving this right one right now. So I'm going to line it up so you can see it well. If I remember right, 0.11 is the correct number. We'll try that. See, this one's correct. You can read it just fine. This one here is backward. So select the first media, which is the Bitcoin. On the toolbar, select transform. Make sure it's connected. Go to the inspector here under flip and select flip horizontal. Now if you look at the coin, it's correct. I also like to add an ambient light too, so we can have more control of the lighting. So select the merge node right here. Shift spacebar and type in ambient. Usually the setting that's on by default is correct. It's only about like 0.2, I think. Now the ambient light can be anywhere in the scene. Right now it's right here. We're just going to move it up and out of the way. And yeah, it is on 0.2. We'll leave that alone. Go into transform. Y value. Move it up. If you look in viewer 1, you'll see it's up higher now. And the X value, we'll move it to the side. Okay. I think we're going to turn down our directional lights a little bit more. We'll select the first one. We'll set them both to 0.6. Same thing with the other one. Connect your render node in the media out. Put that in viewer 1. You can also change the color of this extrude here, this edge. Just select the extrude node in the inspector under materials. Right at the very top, it says override diffuse color. Select that. Now you'll have a color window here. And you can make it any color you would like. If you want it more silver looking, you can go with that. But to me, white is going to probably match the coins best of all. So I'm going to leave mine at white. Okay, now let's go to the edit page and see how it looks. I'll use a different color this time for background instead of blue. Right now this is made to run a duration of 10 seconds. We're going to go down and make this so you can stretch this timeline to run as long as you'd like. In just a moment we will. I'm going to make mine smaller. I'll go back to Fusion, select the camera node. And move the camera back a little more. Okay, we'll let it render out and play. And then we'll go down back to Fusion and we'll change something so you can extend the duration of this. We're going to move this one here a little bit closer. That would be this one here. Select this image plane. Let's go with the Bitcoin one first. All depends on how picky you want to be with it. I think 0.0 on that one is good. I think they're probably both about as close as we're going to get. Yeah, let's leave them as they are. Okay. Like I said, we'll play this, and you're going to see it'll stop at the 10 seconds. We'll stretch it out farther. Give it time to render. And you can play with all three of your lights to get whatever look of your liking. See, at this point, it stopped rotating at 10 seconds. We're going to go correct that. Back to Fusion. Go up here, open your spline. If this is in the way of your spline window, you can go to the top right and select that, and it'll open it up. Select the transform node. Go over here to zoom to fit. Then select this select all button or highlight them. The next control button to the left, set relative. Close your spline. Okay, before we go back up to the edit page, there's one more thing I want to show you. I almost forgot. Select the extrude node. Hit shift spacebar. And replace material. Make sure it's connected. Go up here to effects. Templates. Fusion. Shaders. Grab a Chrome node. Now we have a Chrome edge all the way around our coin. We'll let it render out and we'll give it a play. Nice chrome edge now. Look good white as well. Well, now it'll keep rotating all the way to the end. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.